busting all the myths on COVID-19 for us and talking us through what she went through. Um, Hi, Rita.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine now. I'm completely normal and I've cured, so it's really good. How are you?
I am great. Oh my gosh, it is so great to talk to you and just hear about your story. First of all, how are you feeling?
I'm absolutely fine. COVID and Corona was really difficult, but now that I'm home, it's much more relaxed. I'm in my own space, so it's more comfortable and much better now.
So, okay, can you start from the beginning for us? So, basically, honestly, I really wanted to talk to you because so many different stories have been passed around, like what
Yeah.
quarantine is like, what they do to you, what COVID-19, what the virus is like, how it attacks you, how difficult it is. Like, there's been so many like myths and so many like just so many, I think, rumors and misconceptions and miscommunication that goes on. And I think people need to hear it from someone like you who has actually been through it, who survived it, how you survived it, what was quarantine like, what was it like in the hospital, who were you able to talk to? Like, so, I mean, if you could just take us through from the beginning, I'd just like to ask you, like, do you know where you contracted it from, or do you have any idea where you might have contracted it from?
So it's very difficult to track where exactly I got it from. But according to my symptoms and all, doctors suggest that it might be from either travel or the airplane or, airport. Places are infected. You might get from an infected thing, maybe like a door handle or something,
Wow.
a table surface or anything. So that must be it.
So was it when you were traveling back from London, right?
Yes,
And
London.
when
I
you
studied there.
arrived back into India, was that when you felt like you had symptoms of it and you went to get checked?
Yes, so I landed on the 14th in Bombay. And when they do a thermal scan after everyone lands, they have a mandatory thermal scan for all passengers. And there was no temperature, there was no cough then. But on the 16th morning when I woke up, I had a temperature about 101. And then I also had a lot of dry cough. So we called the helpline to take some advice because I had come from a very highly infected country. And then they suggested that we should straight away go get me tested and go to a government medical facility. So that's what we did. And I'm glad we
That's
did that.
crazy though, Rita, because like that means there are people who were probably coming into the country who weren't showing symptoms, but even though they had done whatever routine checks they did, it wasn't detected. So they were allowed, out and about, and they were actually carrying the virus. Like yourself, you were actually carrying the virus, but you were not showing symptoms at that time. It just came up much later.
Yeah,
So
people don't declare. That's wrong.
yeah. So it's crazy because I have actually been hearing that there have been people out there who haven't been showing symptoms but have been positive.
Yeah. And people who, when you carry the virus, you yourself don't know that you're carrying. So it's best to declare. Like in Bombay, there are so many hospitals which have been shut down for the same reason. Patients did not tell the doctor, and now the entire team of medical people who are in the hospital have been infected. So the hospitals have to be closed.
Terrible. So,
Yeah.
so out of your experience, do you suggest every single person who's been traveling or who feels that they have been in a highly maybe infected place or something should just not take any chances and should anyways? But okay, what is that process like? Because I mean, I feel a lot of people do not really know. Like, do we go to a hospital? Do we not go to a hospital? Are there at home, like, kind of like tests that you can do? Is there some place that you can go to? Because if I feel like I'm infected, I would be really scared to like meet anyone or go anywhere. Like, how do I get myself then like tested without harming other people?
So I recommend self-isolation, first of all, if you think that you might have something or you have traveled, because that's what I did. After I came, the 2 days that I was home, I did not meet my parents. I was in another room. I was eating there. I was sleeping there by myself and doing everything by myself. And that's how my parents did not get the virus. They were tested
Wow,
negative.
that's
So
amazing.
social distancing is extremely important as the government is asking us to do.
Amazing. So wait, so did you go to the hospital?
Yes, I went myself.
So how did you get there?
The symptoms. I had
Hello?
symptoms. My mom obviously drove me there. Hello?
Sorry, Rita, my connection is so bad.
Yeah, everyone's connection these days is terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
terrible.
yeah, it's terrible. So I had some symptoms and
Okay, so
I
tell me
decided to
something.
go
What
myself.
what was the treatment like when you were there?
Treatment was mostly medicines. Hmm. So the hospital had all the facilities a hospital should have. So there was an
Mhm.
isolation ward with a bed, my own bathroom.
Facility,
There
yeah.
was AC in the room. There was a heater for hot water. There was also a small space for,
Okay.
like a balcony where I could go and walk. So it was everything that a hospital
Wow.
should have. Yeah.
Okay. And okay, this is, I mean, what was it like to actually go through the virus? Like, was it actually painful? Is it something like, was there a lot of pain and hurt and like, I mean, was it difficult? I mean, I think, I mean, I've seen some videos of people who have
Mm.
been short of breath and they can't breathe and they just look like they're going through hell. Was that something that you went through recovering from this
No,
while you were
that
doing it?
happens. That happens when your infection spreads. So mine was detected while it was in the throat. It did not have any time to go to my lungs or, give me shortness of breath or anything. There was
Okay.
obviously some oxygen level changes in my body because of, the virus.
Yeah.
So that caused a lot of fatigue. So while I was at the hospital, I was basically either resting or, sleeping or sitting and reading. Only the last few days when, one of my tests came negative, after that I could do some yoga and, I'm very pro yoga. So a little bit
Yay,
of
me
yoga and
too. So wait, so how long did that take then? So how long were you in the hospital for?
14 days. On the 14th day, the second test that they did turned out negative. So I could
Mhm.
go home.
Oh my God, and what was your first thought when you like were when your test came out negative?
I was so happy. Like, I survived the pandemic. So there was no bound for my happiness.
I
And I
know,
was
I can
extremely
imagine.
grateful, yeah, to
And
everyone
don't you
there.
just feel like you have like this new lease of life and like
Oh,
life is
yes.
something that you just have to be appreciative of and just pay much more attention to and be more loving and kinder to people and I mean and how like there's so many silly small things that we fight about and fret about and complain about, but actually it's meaningless when you're sitting in a hospital, you know, surviving something like COVID-19. So it's everything just turns out to be so frivolous, right? So
Yeah.
well,
So
now
now
that you've
I think,
survived,
yeah,
yeah,
now I think I have a new meaning to life. I appreciate it much more than I used to do. I value things that I've been taking for granted for
that's
so long.
amazing.
And I'm genuinely very happy now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Rita, keep that up because that is, I mean, seriously, you have been extremely blessed. Unfortunately, there have been many deaths like around the world from COVID-19, and you have survived it. So your story is a miracle story. And you know always be reminded of what you've accomplished and what you've survived, and keep that spirit up. But I think what was interesting was how you said that you used like a lot of yoga and you used a lot of like
Mm.
dance, and
Mm.
like you felt like these things really helped you um kind of return back to normalcy and back to life and get your immune system going and all that kind of stuff.
Mm.
So, is there anything else like you want to add to that, or you want to elaborate on?
Yes, it is very important to, accept, first of all, because patients who have turned to depression or who have anxiety after they realize that they have COVID-19 or anything like that. Even quarantine is making people so depressed. So the
Yeah.
first thing is that they should accept, like, there is no choice other than what you're doing, other than being in isolation or being quarantined. So
Yeah.
if they accept it, if they accept that what they are doing has to be done, like even the house chores, because no one has staff at home, then they'll be a lot more happier than they actually are. And that's what I
Yeah.
did too. I accepted that I have this and I have to be treated. So first of all, I trusted the team, and I had full faith in them that whatever they will do, they'll do their best.
Oh, it's so good. I think your positive outlook helped you a lot. And I truly believe in that. Like, super depressing if like you find out that you've got like this crazy deadly virus, and and a lot of people, like I've been hearing, this is like really been breaking my heart. They've been running away from quarantine because they're so scared. Like, quarantine is just gonna like, I mean, make matters worse when actually it's going to be so much more safe for them and for everyone around. So I can understand the fear. It's like it's a fear pandemic as well that a lot of people are going through.
Yeah.
Um, and I actually feel the fact that you were extremely strong, not just physically doing physical things like yoga and your dance stuff, but mentally. So that's way, way more effective, I think, than physically. Mentally, you were, I mean, like, you're battling it in your mind.
So
So I think,
50% of your problem is
yeah.
in your mind. So if you battle that problem, then physical, the doctors are doing their best.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Really well said. So is there anything else now like that you have to do or maintain? Like, okay, so I heard something, you'll be able to like tell me if this is right or not. So I heard when you come out of COVID-19, um, your lungs are so impacted that it takes time for it to get back to normal, or something.
Yeah.
I mean, like, oh, is that right?
Yeah, because I still experience a lot of fatigue. My blood pressure keeps very low still. So I have to keep myself hydrated at all times, eat proper food, take proper rest. And the only thing with this is it takes really long to heal. And, even after you have a negative test and you come home, even after that, it takes long for you to revive completely to the person you were before COVID.
Wow. And do you know how long that would take?
Doctors have said about a month.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've already gone 2 weeks, and I'm much better than what I came out of the hospital as.
Wow. And what are you doing for your immunity right now? Like, what are you eating? What is your day like? What is your exercise routine like?
I don't have an exercise routine right now because I have been advised to take rest.
Not even yoga?
And no, not even yoga. Like meditation is fine, but no yoga
Okay.
because blood pressure fluctuations and all that. I might just
Right.
fall somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
So after 1 month, I can do that. But otherwise, I just help out mom a little bit at home, and then I'm cooking a little bit, baking a lot
Good.
because I'm a pastry
Oh,
chef as well. So yeah,
you're a
that's
pastry
fun.
chef as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, amazing. I find that so therapeutic. So I have been trying to make muffins. I've
Hmm.
made two really bad batches. So maybe I'll get some tips from you then, Rita. Okay?
Definitely.
Yeah, you need to help me. I've been trying to make banana muffins. Both my attempts have failed miserably. No one has dared to eat them. A few people dared, but then, like the second batch, no one dared again to eat them. So, so I definitely need some advice with that.
Sure.
I wanted to ask you, when people, when you came back home after like your COVID-19 experience, were people like, did you feel people were like a bit hesitant to be around, or did you feel like people still had misconceptions, or did you like, how did you feel? How were you welcomed back? Was it good? Was it like, oh no, people were still scared? Like, what was that like?
People have a lot of misconceptions, so they are
Yeah,
definitely not extremely welcoming.
yeah,
We still have to rely on home deliveries. My immunity is still very low. So there's
okay,
a board outside my house that says COVID-19 house, quarantine area, do not enter.
wow.
So we are not allowed to go out of the house. Nobody is allowed to come in.
What,
So
what, what? Where are you? You're not in Mumbai, right? You are.
no,
Where are you?
I'm in Gujarat, Surat.
You're in Gujarat. Okay.
Yeah. So the SMC is helping us out, but like some other vendors, they just don't come near because there was this thing with my case. I was the first case in Gujarat, and
Yeah.
before my test results came out positive, people had made my pictures, my name, my address, everything viral, and declare that I was positive without the hospital even declaring, or my test actually coming out positive. So people, basically everyone in the city knows me, so they just don't come near.
Yeah.
We are still in quarantine, so we have to rely on everyone outside, and it's slightly difficult, but the municipal corporation has been very cooperative and they've been helping us a lot.
That's great. I love the fact that, officials have actually been there for people who are suffering and, who have contracted this. And I think that that's what a lot of people are scared of. Like, they're scared that, it's the end of the world if you get it and that's it. And then, what's going to happen. But I don't think they realize that there are actually specialists out there. There are actually people who care. There are actually people who are risking their lives, actually being in hospitals, treating you, doing their best, with quarantine, with this, with that. Like, so I think people need to get out of their heads. If they feel like they're experiencing symptoms and stuff, they need to let people know, just so that it doesn't spread anymore, and not run away from it, not be afraid that, they won't get taken care of and stuff like that. So, but okay, I'm gonna just ask a few more questions. I think, you should go back and relax, because you really kind of have been through a lot. So I'm not going to take up much more of your time, Rita. But last but not least, I'm sorry, but like, I'm on this chat every single day with my friends. I have a family chat and I have a friends chat, and like, all we discuss all day, and I don't know if you do the same thing, is when will this get over? What's gonna happen? Like, all of us have these these little conspiracy theories, like, oh my god, this is what happened, and no, they're saying not till next year, things won't go back to normal till October, quarantine's gonna go on forever. Like, so I mean, I'm pretty sure that you have like these discussions at home and stuff as well. And
yes, we do.
What do you think? Like, do you think that, how long do you think our lockdown and quarantine is going to go on till? Like, do you think this is something that's going to be a lot longer? You've been through it. So do you think we have still a long way to go before we see the end of COVID-19?
I think there is a long way, looking at the number of cases that have been increasing every day.
Yeah.
And I think that quarantine is the only way out, because this is extremely contagious, and the only way to stop it is prevent meeting new people or infected surfaces or infected things. So I think our government has taken really good steps, and people should cooperate. There are a lot of people who are not cooperating with the officials. Like in Indore, there was pelting stones at the doctors, and then there are some other places where doctors who are living in the society, in the residential society, the people are not cooperating with them, asking them to go out. Those things are very unreasonable, because they are the frontline people who are working. And
and the thing is, like, Rita, it's crazy, but there's like, there's very educated people also who are very aware of what's going on, who, know very well what the rules, the regulations, like everything is, and they're still not paying attention or adhering to what's going on. And it's like, I find that so baffling that, they would rather put other people's lives in risk, and themselves, like their own lives in risk as well. But I think you said it so right, though. It's so simple. Like, stay at home, don't meet new people, practice your social distancing, make a phone call. Like, it's like, I mean, like, everyone's like, oh my god, we can't go out, but yeah, just like FaceTime, make a phone call people, do things at home. There's a lot that you actually can do if you put your mind to it. We don't necessarily have to be outside doing all of this, so you can work from home. There's like no excuse about that. Like, oh yeah, but okay, well, it was lovely chatting with you, and
thank you.
if there's anything else you want to add, or like if there's anything else you want to just like telling people, feel free to do that. But yeah, like, let me see if there's like a question or something that's come up.
So I just want to tell the people that, whatever our government is doing, have confidence in that. And in case if the quarantine is extended, that's just because of the stupidity of some people. And please cooperate with your government, because I have said this a million times and I'm saying this again, that you are not stuck inside, you safe inside. So stay indoors and stay safe.
Rita, oh my God, that was like the best thing ever, like that you had just mentioned, and so true and so apt for what's going on right now. So thank you so much for that. I hope whoever was watching and following this live, whatever they needed to hear, they heard. And Rita, thank you so much for your time. And yeah, thanks for being such an inspiration for everyone.
Thank you. Nice to see
All
you
right,
too.
great. Take care, Rita.
Bye.
Take care. All right.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.